And moving now to Delta State, where the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, has promised to ensure increased crude oil production in the nation. This comes as he has promised maximum support to the Logistics Command headquarters by providing assistance to all the combat formations. Nnam-Obi has the details.
The Nigerian Navy fight against crude oil thieves is the Logistics Command headquarters that provides all the necessary support to the combat formation to function effectively. In his tour of naval units, outposts and formations, the Chief of Naval Staff is here in Ogara to see things for himself. For the flag officer commanding, the Logistic Headquarters Command can better carry out his function with adequate support from the Nigerian Navy headquarters.
Process coming back again for each and every event. So you prepare something and somehow when you completed it, another form came up, you have to go through the entire process. I think this is very inefficient, and we are thinking that maybe we can improve on this by creating a system for support support.
After listening to the demands of the Logistics Command, the Chief of Naval Staff assured them that the 2024 budget made necessary provisions to enable better service of the force.
Our provision, we have provision to construct tank storage facilities. I believe that in 4 locations, which I think we have identified those 4 locations, I think that to some extent, we have some sort of when it comes to this issue of inadequate storage facilities.
According to the Nigerian Navy, its fight against economic saboteurs is yielding positive results with an increase to 1.7 million barrels per day in crude oil production, and it is expected to rise this year with a renewed commitment of the Nigerian Navy. Nnam-Obi, TVC News, Ogara, Delta State.
And to other matters, supporters of the People's Democratic Party across the 17 local government areas of Plateau State have turned out in large numbers to welcome the Governor Caleb Mutfwang back to the country after his victory at the Supreme Court on Friday. It was quite an unusual crowd of supporters at the Yakubu Gowon Airport, as many gathered to see the arrival of the governor and celebrate his victory. Funam Joshua tells us more in this report.
The celebration of the People's Democratic Party's victory at the Supreme Court has entered its second day in Jos, Plateau State capital. The arrival of the State Governor Caleb Mutfwang from the federal capital to Jos, the state capital, saw a large turnout of residents and supporters of the party who came to welcome and celebrate with him. The event in the state capital caused a serious gridlock for motorists plying the highway due to the crowd that came out.
This court case has been a major distraction to this government, and I can assure you that with this put on the side now, we call on everybody to join hands together and look at the bigger picture, which is the common interest of the Plateau man.
I want to assure Plateau people that will give the governor and the Plateau people the best, as we promise.
The governor we have, and with this victory, Plateau State is in for the best. We know what he has started doing, and we are sure he will do it.
By this judgment yesterday, I can assure you that His Excellency President Bola Tinubu has earned my respect.
So I would want to encourage Plateau people to support Governor Caleb Mutfwang. He has demonstrated that he is truly a lover of Plateau.
The state governor addressed the crowd shortly after arriving in the state capital, saying the time for distraction is over and now it's time to focus on governance.
I know how he was pushed. I know how they tried to use his name to intimidate the judiciary, but he refused. I stand on record to say he refused to intrude into the political space, into the judicial space. That is why their lordships could deliver their judgment without fear or favor. But that is not to say that we do not salute the courage of their lordships. They had the courage to deliver justice according to law, and we are grateful to them. We are grateful to Mr. President, we are grateful to the judiciary. There may be people who have not done well, but we cannot throw the baby at the bathwater. And when we lose the judiciary, the hope of the common man is lost. But yesterday, our hope, our respect, our belief in justice was restored yesterday.
Residents, irrespective of party differences or religious or ethnic background, have been urged to support the government. Phonom Joshua, TVC News, Jos.
A group known as the Nasarawa State Youth Coalition has called on the Supreme Court to dispense justice in the state governorship election appeal and shun all forms of technicalities. Recall that the People's Democratic Party had filed a petition at the Apex Court challenging the decision of the Court of Appeal for upholding the victory of Governor Abdullahi Sule of the All Progressives Congress. The Supreme Court has now slated Tuesday, January 16 for hearing and possible judgment. Addressing a press conference in Lafia, leader of the youth group, Ilia Aouna commended the judgments delivered so far by the Supreme Court and wants the court to look at the Nasarawa governorship election appeal on its merit.
And the justice for restoring hope and the president, who refused to interfere but join in safeguarding the principles of separation of power for the greater good of our country and its future. It is our hope that the voices of the masses will triumph all over Nigeria when issue of technicalities will consign to repair and workshop. We call on all well-meaning Nigerians to join us in prayers for justice to prevail in the Supreme Court, peace in our nations and unity in our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the faith in Supreme Court to deliver their judgment based on what will reshape our democracy and nation under the Renew Hope agenda. We stand united in our belief that justice will prevail.
In other news, Borno State Governor Babangana Zulum has expressed concern about the overloading of trucks plying federal border highways from Maiduguri to Chad and Cameroon. According to him, overloading of vehicles and carrying more than 100 metric tons of industrial and household products on the Maiduguri-Gamboru Road is an economic sabotage. Jesse Tafida tells us more.
Maiduguri-Gamboru Roads links commuters and businessmen from Nigeria to Chad, Cameroon, and as far as Central Africa. It is one of the busiest trans-border highway in the state. The 135-kilometer Maiduguri-Gamboru-Ngala Road is in a very bad condition. This is due to overloading of trucks, a situation the governor is concerned about.
Most of them carry loads of more than 100 tons, some up to 150 tons. 2,000 bags of cement in one trailer. That has completely destroyed the road between Maiduguri to Gamboru-Ngala. It's a sabotage. If anybody want to go with his goods, 600 bags within the allowable limits, we don't have any problem. The allowable limit will be communicated to you very soon. The chairman of the local government and the commissioner of transport will also come here with the stakeholders of this town so that they should define the allowable limits.
This behavior by drivers is also a threat to public safety. Moving forward, the state government plans to collaborate with relevant federal agencies to address the deteriorating state of border roads.
One very important thing that we are looking for improvement is in the area of trans-border trade. Trans-border trade is very important because it will enhance the means of livelihood of the people of Borno State and most especially the people of Gamboru-Ngala. It will reduce insurgency because poverty will be reduced once there is an increase in trans-border trade.
Despite the government's commitment to improving trans-border trade, necessary measures must be taken to protect the road network. Jesse Tafida, TVC News, Gamboru.
Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says his group has fulfilled their own part of the peace deal brokered by President Bola Tinubu to end the political crisis in Rivers State. Mr. Wike restated his commitment to the resolution when he visited the Oba of Ogbaland, Eze Nnam-Obi in Ogba, Egbema, Ndoni Local Government area. The former governor said his resolve to give peace a chance was strengthened by the appeal from stakeholders like the monarch. The minister also commended the president for intervening despite the political party difference to ensure that peace returns to Rivers State.
When you came to see me, you did say that the need for peace in Rivers State. Your Eminence, let me say that Mr. President, in his wisdom, has intervened for peace to reign in the state. And as you advise, and as a respected traditional ruler, Ezoba, I want to say categorically, without any conditions attached, we accepted whatever decision Mr. President has taken. And we have on our own part fulfilled every condition given by Mr. President. Because I told you, we will not let you down. Just to let you know that the request of making sure that there is peace in the state, and which led to Mr. President to intervene, we have accepted. And I want you to use the opportunity to continue to pray for Mr. President, for God to continue to give him the wisdom to pilot the affairs of this country. After all, it's not for Rivers State.
You're watching TVC News. We'll take a moment.